Hi, everybody. This is a short practice and it's focusing on connecting to your core. So, this practice assumes that you don't really need much of a warm up. I found that with a short practice, there's not really time to do a warm up and full practice and then cool down closing. So, it's short and hopefully sweet and will help you connect to your center. So, we're going to start right off in downward facing dog. Knees could be bent. Rooting through the fingers, rooting through the knuckles. Doesn't matter if your heels get down, you can bend your knees. I'd rather see knees bent and long spine than heels down and rounded spine. Okay. Head can be heavy. Push the floor away. Externally rotate your shoulders. And then to align more with our core focus here, we want to make sure that the ribs aren't kind of flaring toward the ground. We don't want to sink into the shoulders. So I like to create a little lift through the shoulder girdle, the whole shoulder unit, so to speak, kind of lifting up away from the floor, kind of toward the head. And then the the shoulder sinking usually goes along with the ribs kind of flaring and the back arching, extending. So you can draw your lower ribs toward your back body, or as an earlier cue in my practice that I learned was hollowing the belly. So the idea is to explore the different cues and see how they work and feel in your body and see how you can bring greater control and awareness to your body through the cues. Breathing here. Making our way into warrior three, we'll step 1 foot forward. It doesn't have to come all the way forward. So halfway, 3/4 of the way. You could use blocks here if you want some extra support. We'll come up to balance on the leg you stepped forward on, and then try to bring the whole back and the back leg in one long line. And arms can reach back or forward. So in the interest of space here that I'm dealing with, my arms are reaching back. Again, not letting my ribs pop down. So I'm absorbing them toward the back body and really engaging the whole abdominal wall. So I'm kind of drawing it in and then extending from my core, through my limbs, through my spine, gazes down. Standing leg could be bent. Now make it more about your breath. With intention and control, make your way back to downward facing dog. Second side, stepping the foot forward. Push that foot into the ground to rise up to find your balance. Hips are level here. So this aerial foot isn't turning out to the side. It's pointing down. Bringing awareness to your center. Make sure your ribs are absorbing in. So ribs are in line. Rib cage is in line with the hips. Arms can reach forward or back. Gaze is down. Back of the skull is in line with the sacrum. Breath is in the foreground of awareness. Make your way back to downward facing dog. You might want your block for triangle pose, even if just initially. So we'll step left foot forward, Come on up. Align front heel with back arch. Back toes are pointing forward or a little bit inward. Front toes are pointing directly forward. Let the hips rock back as you lengthen out over your front leg. Bringing that hand down. A lot of folks are like in a hurry to like get into the pose. There, my arm is up, now I'm in. What's the rush here? So let's bring this hand, top hand to the belly. And see if you can just have that hand provide a little bit of awareness and assistance to rotate the belly up toward the ceiling. Then maybe you stretch the arm up. We might turn the gaze down for today, down at the front foot, chin slightly tucked. We don't want to really mess with where the pelvis is, so this front hip could be rolling forward. That's okay. Again, we want to be more mindful of our center. We could call our center our core. It's one way to look at the core. So if the ribs are jutting forward and the butt is poking back, see if you can bring your torso and your ribs back in line with the pelvis. And how does that feel? If you wanted to make your core work a little more, you would destabilize by taking your arms out of the situation, your bottom arm. So you could bring your bottom arm alongside or level to the floor, maybe top arm also. Plant your hands, stepping back to downward facing dog. Second side for triangle or trikonasana. Step the foot forward. Front heel aligns with back arch. Having your block in place might be nice. Back foot, toes point towards the long edge of your mat or slightly inward. Not outward. Now. Okay, let the hips rock back, lengthening out over the front leg. And then don't be in a hurry to get into the pose because that's not our goal. Our goal is to be in this moment. So you can bring your hand to your belly and rotate through the belly. Turning to open up, maybe extending the arm up then. Let's bring the gaze to look down. Start to become a bit more aware of the relationship of your rib cage to the relationship of your pelvis. And if the ribs are forward in space relative to your pelvis, try bringing the ribs back. Maybe bottom arm is extending alongside the ear. Maybe top arm also. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. One more standing asana, Parshva, side, Kona, angle. Parshva Konasana, side angle. Step left foot forward. It's the same foot placement, but your stride could be a bit longer. Bend your front knee. And then to come into the pose, we're just deepening the hip crease. We're not rounding the spine. We're not doing really a side bend in the sense that I'm staying long through this underside, yeah? So this hip crease is deepening, but I'm not creating this kind of side bend action, okay? Imagine you could hug your feet in toward each other, in towards center. Again, let's bring this top hand to the belly and see if you can rotate the torso open. If you have shoulder stuff going on, hand can stay on the hip. Maybe the arm comes up, palm facing forward. Maybe the arm stretches alongside the ear. So in addition to hugging the feet in toward each other, like you could wrinkle the mat between them, try engaging your back glute. Big shadow, sorry. Looking down. Front ribs aren't flaring forward. And we lose our center in a sense when we do that. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Second side, place the foot between the hands. Rising up. Bend your front knee to stack it directly on top of the ankle. And then it's just a deepening of the hip crease. So the whole torso is hinging over the leg and hand coming down. Hug your feet in toward each other. Turn through your belly, through your torso. Squeeze your back glute. Maybe extend the arm up or alongside the ear. Let's look down as we rotate chest up toward the ceiling. Check in with your ribs. If you're a rib popper, a recovering rib popper, you're gonna find it's happening all the time. So absorbing the front bottom of the ribs toward the back body will probably feel better for the lower back. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. And now we're going to move from plank to dog a few times. See if you can initiate it from your pelvis. Coming forward to stack shoulders over wrists. And then exhale from the pelvis, from the low belly, lift up and back, down dog. When you come forward to plank, try not to lose your center by dropping your hips. They're in line with shoulders. One long line of energy from heels to crown of head. From the pelvis, lifting up and back, downward facing dog. A few more times, go slow. Gaze is down here between the hands in plank, and glutes and legs are active. This idea of moving from center. Doesn't have to be linear, it could be more like a wave. Last one. Next time you land in downward facing dog, lower the knees down to the ground. And let's come to sit for 5 minutes meditation. And close your eyes, return your gaze downward. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Anchor awareness to the natural breath. The mind wanders outward. Keep inviting awareness to return inward. Notice what's coming up without reacting, just watching, just listening, just breathing. Let's sit for one more minute, recommit, give this time to yourself, one breath at a time. Take a couple deeper breaths. And let's bring hands, palms together at heart center. Make a little bow. And thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking these few minutes to attend to your body and to your breath and to your well-being. Namaste.